In today's short video, I'd like to share with you another idea for personal development. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Adam. I'm a personal development coach and pretty much self-confessed personal development junkie. I love all things human behavior. I love learning about how the brain works, neuroscience. And part of the reason for me to come on and share these videos that I believe that there's so much information out there available to us, but in some instances that can be quite overwhelming. So my aim with this YouTube channel is to create short, sharp pieces of information that I've supported my clients with, that I've supported myself with, and that hopefully you can introduce into your life as well. And today is no different. So today I'm going to share with you the idea of starting smaller than you think you should. It's coming towards the end of 2021. And I'm already hearing people starting to talk about goals and objectives and visions and all that kind of great stuff that people do as we cyclically move towards the end of a year and start thinking about a new year. Okay. And one of the things that I often see is that people start new things and then it starts to teeter off. Okay. Part of my job as a coach is to help people introduce new behaviors, new ways of working, new things that people want to achieve in their life. And one of the best ways to do that is to actually, believe it or not, to start smaller than you think you should. I think it's commonplace to look at something that we'd like to achieve, this new lifestyle change. That seems to be quite a popular piece of terminology. And we go from where we are right now and we make this kind of plan of going really big, really quickly, but we might not perceive it as really big, really quickly. So we put some plans in place, we think about where we want to get to, and then we just hit the ground and go, right, this is now what I'm doing. So if I think of an example, nutrition is something that tends to come up again and again and again for human beings, just generally. And what that can mean is I'm going to start a diet, I'm going to start a new way of eating, but not remembering how long we've had the pattern of our current way of eating, our current way of showing up to eat food, and then thinking about how we can transition into a new way of working to create a new habit. I'm going to talk about habits in a future video. Today, I'm just talking about how to actually get started. Okay, so for instance, if we use that as an example, the end point, the goal as such might be to have a healthy lifestyle with a balanced diet, okay? And we would have to do some work around defining what that actually means. But what can oftentimes happen is people will jump from, right, I'm currently eating out a few times a week. I might be having takeaways. I might be having a lot of oven cooked food for argument's sake. And then going, right, I'm going to have 5 balanced meals a week, freshly cooked. Okay, the problem with that is you've got to kind of understand that we are a walking set of habits and behaviors. So to jump right from where you are, which is, potentially in our example, eating a lot of oven food, having a couple of takeaways a week, to then all of a sudden going, right, I'm going to just start cooking from fresh and having 5 healthy meals a week. Okay. The question here is, how can I start smaller than I think I should? Because what we've effectively done there in the example I've used is gone from 0, if you like, to hero. I'm just going to stop doing everything I know, everything that my body knows, everything that my thinking patterns know, and go straight into this new world without transitioning. Okay? It's a little bit like jumping in the car and going straight from 0 to 100. You just wouldn't do it. You'd build up speed, you'd build up momentum, you'd find the right road, and then you would eventually hit that and get to where you want to be and get that speed going. Okay. And this is what Nia Eyal, wonderful author, talks about the expert mindset versus the amateur mindset. And in actual fact, what most of us generally want to do when we're thinking about new habits, new behaviors, new ways of working, something we want to achieve, is we go straight into the expert mindset. That like, right, I'm going to get a nutritionist, I'm going to throw everything out of the house, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do the other. Actually, the first thing in our example might just be I'm going to make sure I can have a piece of fruit every day for a period of time. That would be starting smaller than you think you probably should. But let's just pretend we have 5 bits of fruit a week. All of a sudden, we've gone from perhaps having no fruit in our diet to having 5 pieces. Over time, that compound effects, it's going to grow and grow and grow and grow. We then might decide, do you know what? I'm just going to have or put on my plate a piece of veg every evening. So not change the whole meal, but perhaps just have a piece of veg. So I've now got in my routine, in my daily life, a piece of fruit and a piece of veg. And that might embed for a little bit. Now, obviously, I'm going at a little bit of a faster pace than I would with my clients, because we would look at how to do that, how to start smaller. A couple of other examples that I'd like to share with you. I worked with a group last year of fitness enthusiasts, and they wanted to introduce meditation into their daily practice. I've been meditating now for a few years, so see the benefits. However, it has taken a number of years, let me tell you, to feel differently and get a real sense of benefit from meditation. And with the group, it was all, the enthusiasm was there. They understood the research, they understood why they wanted to do it and the benefits that they could gain from meditating every day. And I challenged them to think smaller than they think they should. So I actually started with 5 minutes a day. Now, most of them were like, what's the point in that? Well, again, if you just pretend we do it Monday to Friday, for argument's sake, there's no reason I'm picking Monday to Friday, by the way. Let's just say we go Monday to Friday. That's 25 minutes of mindfulness each week, 52 weeks a year. You can see where I'm going. And it's quite hard not to just say to yourself, I can sit for 5 minutes with my eyes closed and just breathe. So it's a really simple example there of something that most people kind of go, yeah, I can see meditation as something that works. I know it's going to calm me down. I know I just need to take a little bit of space for myself every day, even if it's 5 minutes. And the other really cool thing about this, and if I use my meditation example, is that oftentimes once you've just started, you've almost hacked yourself that you can't argue with yourself that you can't find 5 minutes to sit and breathe every day. What tends to happen, not all the time, but if you're already sat there, you probably do a little bit more. So again, I've worked with a couple of people with writing and maybe starting blog posts or articles or even videos like this. You know, I am not going to stand here and say that I find this the easiest thing in the world. However, I started really small, tripod, phone, and just introduced myself, and that was it. And then I've done more of it and more of it and more of it. So that starting smaller than you think you should is a really great way to just get started, because in most cases, it's just getting started. Once we're moving, we're doing it. We're writing, we're listening, we're sitting, we're doing whatever it is, we're eating the piece of fruit. So just really encourage you to take this idea, give it a try. There'll be somebody watching this today, I'm sure, that goes, I've got something to do today. And actually, if I just said, I'll allocate 5 minutes to that, 10 minutes to that, I'll start with 2 sentences on that dissertation, on that report I've got to write, on that end of year review that I've got to do for that individual. Just look at it and ask yourself the question, how can I make this smaller than I think it should be? Because we've got that preconceived idea of where we want to be, which is great. But actually that journey, that time that it takes to get there, let's just think about how we can go smaller than we think we should. Hope that's been useful. If you like the material I'm producing, please feel free to subscribe and share the details.